I'll start with David's back in, travelling. Luke is travelling. Edinson and Anthony, they've only minor niggles, but they won't be making the trip. So, and of course, you get to the last game of the group stage, and you're in the next round if you go and win that game, or you get a draw. So it's an important game, of course it is.
Could you just talk to us about Mason Greenwood, please? I mean, obviously there was a lot said about him earlier in the season for various reasons, but the goal that he got on Saturday was outstanding and a reminder of what he can do.
Yeah, Mason's a very talented forward. He's one of the best finishers I've worked with. And when we can provide chances for him, or he creates chances for himself or with his movement, of course we've got a good chance of scoring goals. He's still young, still learning, and he'll only improve with the quality and experience and the characters that we have around him, in and around the team. And so it's exciting to work with him.
Teams where, with so much at stake, you expect your big players to step up and show why they're Manchester United players and show they've got the mentality to deliver on the big stage with so much at stake.
Of course, knockout games or games like this that mean if you can go through or not, they're big. And the players are here, they're Man United players because they have qualities that we've looked for, and I'm sure that tomorrow night will prove that that's the reason why they're here. They will show it. I think the character, the group is getting better and better, and we're looking forward to the game. It's something that we want, games like this. It's some tradition for Man United. We never make it easy for ourselves. Of course, we look at the games as, especially the away game against Istanbul, we could have took 3 points, but that's just the way we do things. We do make it hard for ourselves. That's been ever since I played, and that's a long time ago.
Question to you both: when you've beaten a side like Leipzig so convincingly at home, do you draw on that tomorrow night, or do you just kind of wipe it out of your minds and think, we go from scratch here? What's the value of that performance, and that, or is it something that you just ignore?
Well, you can't ignore it. Of course, it's a game that we'll remember fondly because we did many things right, and we need to do lots of things right again. But we should also correct the few wrongs that we had, and we will. We prepared well. We know Leipzig well enough to know that they're unpredictable in their shape or systems. So, but we know the players and the style they play in. So we know it's going to be a very difficult game, tough game that we need to be at our best to get a good result from.
99, you came through a very, very difficult group with a lot on the line right until the end. If you were to come through this test tomorrow, another difficult group, a game at the end to seal qualification, do you think that could help you going forward with the games that you may have later on in the competition?
The more good opponents you play against, the better opponents, the more used you get used to playing against good teams. And when you get through those games, it'll give you confidence and give us the trust and belief that we've done something right along the way. So we've just got to do our jobs tomorrow first, and that's let's see after that.
How much of a factor is the fact that you only need a point in this game? Obviously, a point at Old Trafford would have done it against PSG. Same situation here. How do you approach that game, knowing that that's the context?
Well, I think you've got to approach the game as in it's a 90-minute game. You know that anything can happen in any moment, so you can't sit back and hope for a 0-0 draw. That's not in our genes. It's not in the team's genes. It's not in the club's genes. We want to go out there and win a game of football. I think we showed that against PSG, that we wanted to go out and create chances. You have to create chances to score goals, and we'll do that again.
Ollie, when you were a player, there was a great part of that team was a knowledge that nothing was ever over, no game was ever lost. Do you see that now with this team? Because there have been so many comeback wins, so many late wins. Do you see the same traits?
Can definitely see those traits coming back. the belief coming back. Of course, that it's also got to do with that belief. And I don't know how many times we've come back and how many goals, from the top of my head now, how many goals we've scored in the last 10 or 15 minutes. But it's a lot. And that's a big difference from last season. We spoke about it at the start of this season, that we need to get that those extra points that can give us. And this season is proven very important so far.
But Ollie, just following on from Neil's question there, do you think that comeback ability can actually get into the heads of opponents as well, knowing that this lot will never give up? And also, just there's been a few instances where group stages have gone down to the final game before, and you've faced a tough away game, Benfica, Basel, and Wolfsburg. The team all went out. Does your away record, though, give you that extra confidence that you can avoid that fate again this time around?
Yeah, it gives us confidence. I think I played in one. I remember we went down to Rapid Vienna. We had to win the last one, I think, or we won 2-0 in that game. So there's always, through history, it's down to the last game, and we didn't expect when you saw this group to be through before the last game. Of course, we could have done it ourselves before, but we're pleased to get here now and then have this chance. For what anyone else thinks about us, the opponent think about us, I'm not sure. But of course, with the fitness we're getting, with the spirit we're getting, with the pace we've got, of course, it's great for us knowing that we don't give up. The characters getting into the team. I think Man United has a tradition and history, and probably opponents would know about that as well. So, but that's for someone else to answer. We just working hard to get into the people's head that might happen, so they can't switch off.
The Champions League different to the Europa League? What differences do you notice?
You want to play against the best. You need to play against the best to steadily improve. That was a challenge for these boys. Now, of course, for me as a manager, it's last season I had a Europa League to call it to the players who played less. So we rotated more. Of course, that's another challenge for the boys now. They don't get the rest, but that's what it is to be a Man United player. You don't get a free week. You don't get Saturday to Saturday. You play weekend. You play midweek. You play weekend. That's how it is to be a Man United player, and that's what these players needed now. And so far, it's we're getting better and better through all the good opponents, the preparation, the focus is better. You can see everyone's minds are sharper. So it's all pluses, of course, to be in this tournament.